Come here, cutie. Hop up. Hop up. Hop up. Come on. You can do it. There he is. What you doing? Can you say hi? Say hi. Are you leaving? That's all your fans get? Hello there, everybody. Good morning. It's Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on FlossTube, and I am here on this Wednesday, October the 4th of 2017 with my next update. This one's going to be a really quick one. Not a whole lot to report on this week. I expect that next week we'll be back to our normal lengthy, long videos, but yeah, this week's going to be a quick one. I have a little bit of Q&A to go over, and I also have just a couple of projects that I've worked on, and then plans, but it's more like an addendum to my plans. I talked in my last video about my Dark October stitching plans, and so I've just kind of reorganized things a little bit that make a little bit more sense to me. So let's just go ahead and get right into it, shall we? Let me go ahead and pull up my notes. I didn't print them out this time because I have a few questions for Q&A, but not like last time. This one's going to be pretty quick, I think. So let's get started. And the first question comes from Doc Somali, aka the Lazy Stitcher. Her channel will be linked below. You should definitely check her out. She's been on YouTube for a long time. She has a lot of book reviews in her backlog, so if you're looking for a review, check that out. That's pretty cool. Okay, so she asks, how do you keep track of all of your clips for what your projects look like the last time you worked on them? She says that it always troubles her personally, and she's thinking that maybe I have a file or a folder by project. No, I don't do that. So the first thing that you guys need to know about my where I was last time is that I operate on iMovie, and so that could be different based on the different operating systems. If you're running a PC and using Windows Movie Maker for your videos or your phone or what have you, this is going to be different unless you're using iMovie on your phone. So I'm going to insert a picture here of basically what my editing screen looks like. And what you're going to notice in this picture is that on the left-hand side, there are, under events, various dates. So I create a new event for every video that I make, so that everything is sort of kept in there. And then on the right side of that, you see the clip, and it's zoomed in to, I think I have it set to 2 minutes. So every 2 minutes, it shows a new frame. And so what I do is, if I know that last week I showed you where I was on Faces of Fairy 201, then I go to the event for last week's video and scroll through to find the clip that I want and drag that into the video here today that I want to show you. So that's how I do things. Now, there are some cases where I haven't shown the project in a really long time, and so I have no idea when it was that I showed it last. Sometimes I'll go through the effort of scanning through and looking for the clip. Sometimes I'll just pull up an old picture. And then there's also the issue of, to save space on my laptop, I clear out those events. I delete everything of these events periodically. So I don't think I have anything in there before June as of now. What's really great is the Whip Parade. That's a really great spot to utilize for this purpose because I've got all 70 some odd of them in there that I can pull from. So that's kind of how I do things. I don't organize things by file or project or anything like that. I just try to find the clip in the events from the past. It's not a fast process. It takes some time. It takes some time to try to find the right clip or the right section of a clip, because what I find myself doing is that, so I'll do like this. And like, that's not enough of a clip for you guys. that's not enough to really see what happened. Or sometimes I'll be like this. You can't see the bottom. So I have to find the right portion of the clip to include in. And it's not a fast process, especially trying to find the right spot. Like, when did I talk about this? So that's how I do things. I don't think that it's a mandatory thing for FlossTube. Absolutely not. I don't think there's anything mandatory about FlossTube. If you want to include the where were you last time, cool. But there are plenty of people who just talk about what they worked on in their last period of time since their last video. So whatever works for you. Okay. Next, I have a couple of questions from Sherry Loves Stitching. She has a couple of questions about knitting and then also about stitching. So Sherry is on a fixed income, and she wants to know my opinion on companies that offer subscriptions, such as there's a couple like Yarn Box and Knit Crate. And I have never participated in a subscription like that. The only thing that I have ever done was through the Plucky Knitter, I did a classic subscription, and so I got a skein of yarn once a month or once every other month or something like that. I know that the Knitting Expat does, I believe she does Knit Crate, and she does a review for every box that she gets. So I will link her channel down below so that if you want to see her review on it, by all means, check it out. Now, one thing that I can tell you is that there is a company out there that offers yarn really, really reasonably, and they have a very high quality product, and that is Knit Picks. Knit Picks is a phenomenal resource if you're looking for economical but beautiful yarns. I knit a sweater out of Knit Picks, and I use their Swiss worsted, which is merino, so it's soft, but it was like $20 to knit the sweater, and it was a long front sweater, so it wasn't like a traditional cardigan. It was like a lot of yarn required. They also have some beautiful sock yarns, and they have a wide range of bases and fiber contents, so feel free to check them out. I'll also link that down below. And if anybody else has any recommendations for quality but economical yarns and resources for Sherry, because and also resources that you can shop online and will ship to you relatively reasonably, because that was another concern that Sherry has. She's not looking for somewhere where she has to go get yarn. So let's crowdsource a little bit. Next, her stitching questions, she asks if I buy the material packs from Haid, and I have never purchased one of Haid's material packs. I've never done that. I've always been a kid it myself, kind of a gal. So I can't speak. Her next question leads me to believe that she's asking more about the fabric that you get from Haid's material packs. And so I'm not entirely sure on that. She says that she is an Aida person because of her vision, and so she wants to know a brand of Aida that I would recommend. And again, I'm a little bit out of my depth with this one because I don't stitch on Aida rarely ever, if at all. So again, I'm going to put the call out to people who are watching this video. What brand of Aida do we need to be recommending to Sherry? She said that she went the cheap route, but now she's kind of dealing with the consequences of that in the past. But she's really interested in doing full coverage designs, so she needs an Aida that's going to withhold the test of time, because those are lengthy projects. So if you guys happen to know of an Aida brand that is superior than others, let us know, and I will forward that information to Sherry. So let's try to help her out. And also, if anybody has any opinions on the material packs, let's forward that information as well. Sherry, I'm sorry that I can't be much more help. I'm kind of crowdsourcing all of my answers here, but okay. And then the last question that I have is coming from Sheila S. And Sheila asks, what's on the other side of the picture? She's referring to the Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. It looks like another picture, so I brought that. And so this is the cover that you see when you get it. And this is the back, Sheila. So yes, it's just another, it's another version, but it's blown up a little bit so that you can see all of the features of the design a little bit closer. Gorgeous, isn't it? So much fun. I meant to pull out my shores because I have shores of Hawk Run Hollow, and I meant to pull that out to see if that was the same case with the bigger zoomed in version on the back, but I didn't do that. I'll do that at some point. Anyway, so thank you all so very much for your questions. Can't tell you how much I appreciate that. If you've got questions, by all means, leave them in the comments below. I'll get to them next time, or I'll get to you in the comments. And yeah, so let's get going. This is going to be like a super fast video. Because all I have are projects and plans, no purchases that have arrived, no knits or books. So, all right. So last Thursday, I told you that I was going to put Faces of Fairy back on the frame and work on getting that page finished. And I would have gotten it done. I would have gotten it done before we left for the weekend, but I got a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad migraine on Friday afternoon that stalled our travel plans and slowed everything down, and I had to stop stitching because I got a blind spot. It's whatever. Anyway, so I didn't get the page done on Friday before we left. Sad panda. But so we got back on Sunday afternoon, and I finally sat down to finish the page, and it took like 3 hours, maybe. I was so frustrated, but I got it done. So, Faces of Fairy 201, artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. A staple on my channel these days. Oh, I brought all that extra stuff too. I'm stitching this on 25 count Lugana, 1/1 full cross. And page done. Page finished on October 1st. So there we have it. Swan is done. And it looks so much better now that the last stitches are in. I was struggling with this one a little bit because it's a lot of blue more than anything. It's just mostly blue and purple. And I was struggling with the water and the reflection showing, but getting the final stitches in, you can see that there is something going on there. So, very cool. This one, I gotta tell you, I finished that page and I was like, it'd be really cool if I could just go ahead and knock out page 6. No, just put it down. So I did. If page 6 wasn't so much confetti, because I'm starting off right in that eyeball, if page 6 didn't start off in the confetti, then I might have just continued on and kept going with it. But I didn't. So I finished the page, and then it was time. It was time. So last year for Dark October stitching, I didn't make a plan. I was like, there's only one thing that I can think of that I feel like stitching on. And so I started to get ready to start that project. And that is October by the Cricket Collection. And what I ran into was, oh gosh, there's a lot of instructions on this one, I just noticed. What I noticed was that I was out of flossway bags. I didn't have enough. I was 6 short, and that bugged me really bad. Like, I wasn't able to start it because I couldn't get over this issue with not having enough flossway bags. So I tabled the idea. I was like, this is a sign. I'm not starting this right now. And so Dark October stitching for me effectively ended at that point. So on Sunday, I finished phases, and I'm like, all right, I got all of that out of the way. Let's get to some October stitching. So I pull up this project, and I measure my fabric. I get it loaded onto my frame. I sit down to stitch, and I never went back and finished getting it. I never did. I thought that I did. I thought that at some point over the last year, I had just finished kitting it, and then it was just waiting in the wings for when it was October and time to start. No. I still had 6 index cards that were out of project bags. I had, or not project bags, but flossway bags. I had flossway bags with the cards inside, but no floss because I quit after I realized I didn't have enough flossway bags. I didn't even cut threads. I never ordered the silks to do the letters for this project. Like, I was not ready at all to start this. And I thought, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start it, and then if I need to kit up as I work on this, then I'll do that. So I decided to start in this corner because ultimately I hate working this way. I like to start here and work this way. It just makes more sense to me. Must be just, you know, the way I learned to read. Anyway, so I was going to start over here with this leaf. And this leaf was one of the colors that I had a flossway bag for, but no thread. So like, all right, skip that. Let me move down to the other color in the leaf. There's 2 colors in that leaf. Nope. So I was like, all right, well, let me start with the vine because the vine will get me down to the pumpkin. That was one of the ones that didn't have a flossway bag. I'm like, all right, fine. I lose. I'm not starting this today. So I didn't stitch for the rest of the evening. I decided to kit it up Monday morning, and then I could start it on Monday morning. So that's what I did. And gorgeous pumpkin needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. This I started on 32 count Belfast in Gingerbread by Picture This Plus. And so this is 2 days effort, including including yesterday and Monday. So there's that. So I made some pretty good progress on that first pumpkin. Now, here's the thing. This leaf is up a row. It's up too far, which is kind of a bummer. But I've decided I'm not going to rip it out. I'm going to fudge. Now, I'm going to put a call out to you all to see what you guys think I should do. All right, so there are 2 leaves matching on this side. And as it turns out, this, except for this vine right here, this entire piece, this entire part is totally symmetrical. So here's my question. It's going to be very easy to fudge the letter to fit where I moved the leaf to. That's not a problem. Do I move, so this leaf repeated over here, do I move it up a row so that it matches this one? Or do I leave it where it's charted and so it's down a little bit? Not sure what to do. What level of fudging do I need to do? It's kind of like either or, just kind of asking for opinions. But I am loving how that is looking on this fabric. That's just pretty. So let me know what you guys think. I'll talk about this again in here in a second, but I will get back to this later this month, I think. And if I do, then I'll figure that out. So this helps us transition a little bit into plans pretty well because I finished up working on October yesterday. So when I talked to you guys about Dark October stitching last time, I mentioned that I was planning on just kind of going where my mood takes me. I had set a pile of projects and I put some goals to each of them, and I wanted to reach those goals at some point in the month of October. But it was all very vague and loosey-goosey, shall we say. And I don't operate very well like that. It's like almost overwhelming to try to figure out what I'm going to work on next or what order in which I'm going to do things. So I had to schedule it out. On top of that, I have this thing going on this month where I am doing, on Wednesdays, we stitch black. And I am not at a point with October to stitch any black just yet. I mean, there's the cat there, but I can't quite get over there just yet. And that's not really enough, shall we say. So I had a thought to pull out one of my Year of Whips to work on every Wednesday. And then it just kind of worked out nicely to where I work on a project for 2 days and then switch. This is a lot faster switching than I normally like, but it will get me to touch all of these projects at least a little bit. So every Wednesday, and either the Tuesday before or the Thursday following, depending on how things work out, I'm going to work on Electra by Nora Corbett. And on the Wednesdays, I'll work on the black. On the Tuesday or Thursday, depending on how things work out, I'll work on the other stuff. And then, so for instance, this go round, this week I have Electra today and tomorrow. And then on Friday, I'll switch to something else. So Friday and Saturday, then Sunday, Monday. Then we come back to Tuesday, Wednesday. So this will be out on Tuesday where I'll work on some of the color. And then on Wednesday, I'll work on some of the black. I don't have a whole lot of black left in this piece. So I may have to come up with an alternative plan for Wednesdays moving forward. But we'll just kind of cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, I have some black to work on. The other thing is that on Wednesdays, I don't generally get a whole lot of stitching time because first thing in the morning, especially nowadays, especially now that I've kind of switched to this filming in the morning thing, I prep in the mornings. I get ready to film. I pull questions. I gather the things that I need. And then I have my work day. And then Wednesday evenings are a big TV day for us because a lot of our shows are late night Tuesday night. And on top of that, we've got some Wednesday shows. So I don't generally stitch much on Wednesdays. So that's another reason why I think it's okay for me to use this for We Stitch Black on Wednesdays, because I'm not going to get a ton of progress each Wednesday. So let me go ahead and show you where I'm starting at here. This is on 32 count milk chocolate linen, which is the called for linen. And so you see that's where I'm at. And comparatively, so this tendril right here, let me see, which one is that? That's this up here, I think. Yeah, that's this up here. So really all I have to do is the bottom of the dress, maybe a little bit of the curls, and then this black stretch here. That's really not a whole lot, so I really might have to pull out something else to work on for on Wednesdays We Stitch Black. But like I said, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Now, with regards to what am I going to work on other than the Wednesday and Tuesday or Thursday, I'm still going to try to pick things as I feel like it. What's calling to me right now is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. So it's likely that I'll be working on that as of Friday. Friday and Saturday. So there's that. One last thing that I wanted to talk to you about with regards to plans is with my video next week. So this weekend is the FlossTube retreat in Austin, and Danny and I had made plans that we were doing that, and that we were just going to make a week-long vacation out of it. We were going to get down to Austin as fast as we could this coming weekend, and then sort of mosey our way on home, stopping in New Orleans and South Carolina and whatnot. So Danny has next week off of work. And as you guys know, I am not inclined usually to film when he's home, if I can avoid it. And so I'm going to try to film next week. If I've got to boot him out of the house so that I can film, then he said that he's willing to do that. But we'll just kind of see how it goes. Because I am working on a bunch of projects next week, within the next week, I expect that next week's video will be a little bit longer. And so I don't want to have to hold that over for another week, just to make a video in 2 weeks that's going to be even that much bigger. But we'll just kind of wait and see how it goes. So that's really all that I have for you today. Like I said, it was a quick one. I knew it was going to be that way, but that is that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your continued support of me and my channel. Thank you for your comments and for your likes. And I will see you next time. As always, y'all, be kind. Come on. Come on. There you go. There we go. Oh, there he is.